Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Susan and today I am going to be bringing you the top 8 books that you should pick up this summer if you haven't already. Now, the first book I'm going to bring up is going to be an honorable mention because I haven't read this book since the summer of like 2008 or 2009. It's been a while, and that is going to be Lost It by Kristen Tracy. From what I remember, this book has like this girl who loses her virginity. This is like classic like 2008 YA. And this was just a fun read for me, and I actually read it I think in a few days back then. I don't remember much of what it's about, so I'm actually hoping to pick it up again myself this summer to see if I still love it just the same. Now the next book I'm going to talk to you about is actually going to be, I think, the only non-contemporary on this list, and that is Murder with a Cherry on Top by Cynthia Baxter. This book just had like such a summery feel for me. Like, you follow this girl, Kate, who moves back to her hometown from New York City, and she follows her dream to open an ice cream shop. But after she opens her ice cream shop, her high school rival, who owns the business across the street from her, gets killed, and she has to figure out the mystery behind who killed her to clear her own name. The Heartbreakers by Ali Novak. And I think this is the lowest rated book on the list. I think it was a 3 or 3.5 out of 5 stars for me. You follow Stella, who wants to do anything for her sister, and she meets this band called the Heartbreakers, who in my opinion had actually a very strong resemblance to 5 Seconds to Summer. So that was the problem with me I had with this book. It did read like 5 Seconds of Summer fan fiction. But other than that, like, it's like a cutesy romance. I didn't want to put it down. I was laughing, and I just like loved this so much. And the only thing I ever complained was just that it felt like I was reading fan fiction. I'm actually hoping to pick up this summer My Life with the Walter Boys, and the companion to this one, I think it's called Paper Hearts, and see if I like it even more. Now this book is another one I read a couple years ago, but that is going to be Kale, My Ex, and Other Things to Toss in the Blender. I read this book in 2017 and I just adored it. Like, you follow the story of this girl who goes through a breakup, and in the summer she opens up this food truck for smoothies, and she just uses it and she gets a lot healthier, she loses weight. And I just found it cutesy because they do the smoothie recipes at the top of the chapter with a name. So like, this one's called Life's a Beach, and it has cantaloupe, coconut, mango, peach, and orange sherbet. So this is just a fun summery read, and it just like definitely gives you the summer vibes. Now the next one doesn't really give summer vibes, but I did find it enjoyable. It's a fast read. It's kind of a comedy, and that is Heretics Anonymous by Katie Henry. I loved this book. This book was such a hilarious read to me. I actually went to Catholic school growing up, and we follow the story of Michael, who's an atheist, and this is just like the start of a bad bar joke waiting to happen. Either way, Heretics Anonymous is one I would definitely recommend picking up. It was, I think, a 4.5 star out of 5 star read for me, or a 5-star read. This was fun. It only took me a couple days to read. It's not short per se. It's like 300 some pages, but it is a fast read and you won't want to put it down. Next book is one that everyone knows about. I've actually finally read it for the first time myself this year during the OWL Readathon, and that is The Sun is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon. Now in The Sun is Also a Star, we follow 2 perspectives between Natasha and Daniel. And in Natasha's perspective, we're following her on her last day in the country, and in Daniel's perspective, we're following him on his way to a college interview, which is just insane. Like, everything that happens in this book is so coincidental, and it's literally insta-love, but it's okay because it's insta-love done right. What I liked the most about this was that we got to see the perspectives of the people they interacted with, because to me that shows that everybody you interact with, you can affect them in any way. Like, there's one part in the story in the very beginning where Natasha's interacting with this like lowly little worker at the immigration's place, and she's planning on killing herself, but you see in the end like how her interaction with Natasha affected her decision. So in the end, this is actually, I think, a 4.5 star out of 5 star read for me once again. This was a really good book, and I would recommend it to anyone. I read it pretty fast. I think it took me like 3 or 4 days while working full-time to read this. The next 2 books are actually 2 books I did read once again this year. And the first one is, I've only ever heard one person talk about this, and that's Chelsea Dowling. And that is Jack of Hearts and Other Parts. I adored this book. I did not want to put this down. I picked it up because you follow Jack, who is an openly gay guy in his school, and he's just fabulous. Like, I adored him, and all of a sudden, like, one day he starts getting notes in his locker from this, like, mystery person who's trying to control him after he starts writing a column for, like, his friend's, like, blog. I just adored it. I don't want to say too much about it because I went in pretty blind, and I think that's the best way to go about going into this book. So yeah, I would recommend picking this up for the summer. It's adorable, it's fun, and it's a fast read. The last book I'm going to talk about actually has a movie out on Netflix. It's been all over the BookTube for the past couple months at least, maybe the past year or so. And I read it for the first time at the beginning of this month, so you will hear more of my actual thoughts on this in my wrap-up. And that is going to be To All the Boys I Loved Before by Jenny Han. Now, this was a 4 out of 5 star read for me. I actually listened to it on audiobook through Libby, and I don't have much I could say about it that isn't spoilery, except for the fact that it was a fast listen. I think I ended up listening to it in 6 hours, and it's just such a fun book. You meet Lara Jean, and Lara Jean writes letters to the boys that she has crushes on to get over them. And then one day these letters get mysteriously sent out, and she gets approached in school by a few of the guys who the letters got sent out to. From there, chaos ensues, nice little plot hatches, and I actually recommend picking it up because I did enjoy trying to figure everything out and piece together all the pieces of how the letters got sent out with Lara Jean. Well, that's going to be all the books I have to show you guys today. Make sure you guys subscribe down below if you are interested in seeing more of my videos. I post videos a few times a week, and I will see you soon.